Vegas is incredible. There's a casino in every hotel.
Oh, yeah?
And the people are so nice. Today, I learned how to double down.
Wow.
Yeah, they even comp my room because I'm down $5,800.
$5,800?
5,800 chips.
$5,800.
$5,800 chips.
Keep your unused minutes for when you really need them with Rollover, only from AT&T.
Now, welcome back to the show. I'm David Menzies, filling in for Ezra Levant. Well, to paraphrase that old Molson Canadian tagline, I am an idiot. That's right, I'm an incompetent goofball, unable to function in our fast-paced modern world. Why am I a loser? Because I'm a guy, of course. From advertising to TV sitcoms, men are continually depicted as morons and dimwits. But why? Joining me now is Iain Dwyer with the Canadian Association of Equality, which is spearheading a men's issues awareness campaign. So, Iain, what is the awareness campaign all about, and what are you hoping to achieve?
Well, it is a lot of it is about the kind of thing you were just talking about. Just the contempt that some people seem to show for men in society, the misandry, the portraying like idiots, like you just talked about in that commercial.
Now, it's very interesting getting to the nuts and bolts of why this is. I mean, a few years ago, I wrote a column about this, and basically, I observed TV ads and listened to radio ads over a 6-month period in which there were 2 sexes represented. Mm-hmm. And with the exception of one advertiser, FedEx, every single time, so I mean it can't be random chance, every single time in which there was a female character and a male character, the male was the doofus and the female, or in some cases the child, was this oracle of wisdom. Now, what's your take on why this is?
On why? I think it's just men are one of the few groups that it's still okay to make fun of. And you couldn't say stuff like that about a woman, because then that would become, oh, they're making these broad, sweeping statements about women. You can't have that. But to date, there hasn't really been someone who can step up and say, well, no, you can't generalize men this way either.
And maybe it could be an overcorrection. I mean, maybe 50 years ago, in terms of advertising, the housewife was depicted as quite brainless. Is this maybe an overcorrection, Iain, where the pendulum has just shifted so far the other way?
Oh, that's definitely a part of it. I mean, you would look at some of those ads, and they were pretty bad back in the 50s and 60s.
Right. Now, it's funny you say, I'm with you in terms of, I think, men take it like a man kind of thing when it comes to getting slagged. But I do know a few years ago, there was a fellow, I believe his name was Peter Reagan in Calgary, and he actually complained to the broadcasting watchdog about a Rona ad, and the watchdog upheld his complaint. Basically, the ad was insinuating that all men are stupid. And is this part of the answer to, I guess, take a page out of the feminist book and complain and get vocal and loud about things that are upsetting you?
Definitely, and that's part of the reason I'm here today, is I want to talk about these kind of things. I want to raise awareness, make people even just see that it is happening. Because it's so common, it's such a regular thing that a lot of people just aren't even aware that it's happening, that it happens so often they don't see it.
And I think it's not just exclusively an anti-man thing. I think there are many women that take offense to these depictions. I mean, basically, pop culture, the advertising industry is saying your brother, your son, your father, your uncle, your grandfather, they're idiots, they're morons. And surely, if you're a woman who has a beloved male role model in her life, I don't imagine she likes this either.
No, in fact, the women I've spoken to about these kinds of issues, they're very, very receptive. Like I was telling you before we started, we have campus groups starting up in many campuses. We've got one going in York. We're going to get one started at McGill, U of T. We're trying to get someone at Ryerson. So, if someone's interested, please email us at equalitycanada.com. And we find that when we host these events, women are easily 50%, usually more. It's actually women who tend to be more interested in this kind of advocacy stuff than men.
Wow, what does that tell you? That the fact that this is, I mean, I would imagine there's a perception this is just a bunch of angry guys getting around and complaining and grumbling, but you're telling me that it's split down the line in terms of your membership.
Oh yeah, it's really amazing because, as you say, it is a lot of that sort of stuff that, you know, you're saying nasty things about my brother, about my dad, about my son, and I think women a lot of the time they find it easier to stand up and say, and because they're used to it from things like feminism, and so they're used to saying, no, you shouldn't be saying these kinds of things. You shouldn't be making these kinds of generalizations.
Ian, thank you so much. Good luck with your initiative.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back in the future, and you can give us an update about how it's going.
I'd love to.